someone to save. I wanna tell you something new. You drove us both into a wall. I drive away into the night, and I contemplate for a while. Don't you think you wanna be for the best? If I pack my stuff and leave sooner than this. Don't you think you wanna be for the best? If I pack my stuff and leave sooner than this. Don't you wish I would've been someone else? I wanna feel your gap without making a mess at you. Oh, won't you tell me something new? I wanna tell you something new. I wish you all the best I can, and I stop myself for a while. I'm saying things I don't believe. The panic rising up in you. Why won't you tell me something new? Don't you think you wanna be for the best? If I pack my stuff and leave sooner than this. Don't you think you wanna be for the best? If I pack my stuff and leave sooner than this. Don't you wish I would've been someone else? I wanna feel your gap without making a mess at you. Why won't you tell me something new? I wanna tell you something new. You drove us both into a wall. I drive away into the night, and I contemplate for a while. Don't you think you wanna be for the best? If I pack my stuff and leave sooner than this. Don't you think you wanna be for the best? If I pack my stuff and leave sooner than this. Don't you wish I would've been someone else? I wanna feel your gap without making a mess at you. Why won't you tell me something new? Wish you all the best I can, then I stop myself for a while.
You held your hand in mine all the way. Ask if I may join the night. It's okay. No, I can't say I don't like it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Tech Condo. Really appreciate you for being here live and direct on the Saturday at the 7 p.m. Central European Time. By the way, my name is Petra Verbruggen, and welcome to this awesome community of producers, big and small, professional, hobbyists, everything in between. Really appreciate you for taking the time. And there is a lot of people that are at the moment live here. So let's delve into it. Who is here before I go into it? I see MT is in the house. 3:30 p.m. The birds are flying and the dogs are sleeping. Sweet. And the cats, well, the cats are not sleeping at the moment, but luckily my dad is in the house. By the way, Kermit has his birthday tomorrow, which is really cool. Niels is in the house. I'm wondering if and how Petra is fitting 4 TVs onto the tiny studio of the BirdDog VideoWall. How do you know that? Are you part of the BirdDog community? So for some reason, yeah. There are four screens right there. 3 of them are working at the moment. The 4th is actually used for something else at the moment. MT is in the house. Hallo Niels, die gleiche Frage habe ich mir auch gestellt. Lassen wir uns überraschen. Yeah, I think that would be good. I'll make sure that you're surprised. MT is here. Sorry, Eric is here. MT and Niels, cool. And of course, also Viel from a cloudy Finland, which is a bit of a bummer, obviously. Let me see who is else in the house. Quite a lot of people. By the way, it's sunny and partial cloudy, 14 degrees Celsius here in Hanover, Germany. MT says, our scooter has some has something unexpected in mind. This little troublemaker, I like him. Yeah, I like him too. Well, I like him not. I love him even. So it's just part of being in there. I wonder if you can choose or receive RTMP with the BirdDog Play like a YouTube stream, or is it purely for NDI? Well, at the moment, it's definitely purely NDI, Viel, but I'll have to check for you later in this video if with Silicon 2 that option comes available. Both of them will be really, really cool indeed. A lot of people are joining in. It's going very fast today, so give me a few seconds. Feel ask MT and Raoul should have a separate cat cam to check out where the cats are running. Yeah, I think we should, to be honest. I can find any SRT or RTMP, RTSP in text packs on BirdDog site to receive a stream as you described would be awesome. Yeah, so maybe with the introduction of Silicon 2 it might be possible. I don't know, to be honest. But I am expecting that it will then allow not only full NDI but also NDI HX, because now it's full NDI only. The Cow Studio is here. Hi Petra, good evening. Good evening, goedenavond. Nice of you to be here. Let me see. Am I not forgetting anything? Eric says last week or the week before Petra mentioned SRT in the BirdDog Play. I think so. For some reason, I think so. I'm not sure about RTMP though. Maybe RTSP, yes, but RTMP, I don't think so. MT says I'm going through the tech specs. RJ45 or for network USB-C for power. Sadly, no PoE. No, it does not have PoE. Correct. But I will talk about that later. I think Kilo with You NDI decoder also supports RTMP. BirdDog maybe has a different chip and doesn't support RTMP decode. Might be, but let's see. Stuart is in the house. Welcome, welcome from New York. By the way, I will be in New York very soon, Stuart. So that might be a good one for to say hi. And also Upper State New York, by the way, Eric. Niels, the BirdDog cameras with Silicon 2 update are able to send SRT, NDI, and so forth. I doubt that the BirdDog Play will send it because it's a decoder, but indeed. Almost lunchtime, says Robert. In Seal Beach, Balcom Shore in California. MT says, I got 4 screens. To get 4 screens, I have a solution, CTEC ATEM156 for HDMI input. Yep. That is indeed also a solution. But try that with 9. Not going to do that. Anyway, that's a quick roundup of everybody who's here in the house. Welcome, guys. Appreciate you for taking the time on your Saturday. This one is going to be huge, I think. Well, maybe not so much if it comes about the topic of today, which is this one right here, the BirdDog Play, which is in this small box, as you can see. And I actually have one connected right here, barely visible for you guys. Sorry for that cable length thingy here. But let me tell you a little bit about the box. So as you can see, you have here on the front of it a reboot button. You have a indicator right there. It does have a infrared connection, so you can do something with it. You can remotely control it. Though I don't have a remote for that, so it might not be there. This side doesn't have anything apart from my sticker, and this side has a USB input, I believe, or output, I believe. And on this side, well, it's barely visible for you, but that's an HDMI output. That is power. That's a USB-C power, and this is Ethernet. So this is an Ethernet cable. It does not have PoE, but it does have at the back something really cool, which is a magnet. So you can actually adjust it or put it at the back of a monitor that has actually a metal frame, and it will stick there without any issues, which is really cool from my perspective. So that is a little, very small setup, and I just really want to a little bit talk about why I think this is a very, very interesting setup. So the BirdDog Play is only a decoder. So that means that something else needs to create an NDI stream. And then this play, well, plays it. It's a decoder. And therefore, it's also not the most expensive setup. It's not that expensive. I think it's about 150, 200 euros or so. So it's not really expensive. But it does allow to pick up an NDI signal from somewhere in your studio and just push it to a monitor. Now this is just a monitor of a computer, but you know what I mean, right? So that is real powerful. For example, a teleprompter. Another example would be a confidence monitor, or maybe maybe a monitor of somebody who is remotely getting into the program. And actually, the remote getting into the program, that's one of my use cases. Another use case would be indeed a confidence monitor. And maybe in the future, I can actually also use it for maybe something like a backdrop to make it more interesting to watch. So this is, for example, a steady backdrop. It's real, right? It's real, but I do like to have something that has a bit of a shining. So that's the reason why I have my computer here running all of the time, so that I have something to that is interesting to see, right? But maybe it's also cool to have like an animation going and then have multiple screens or something doing that. Well, that's something that we can talk about at a later stage. But first, let's talk a little bit more about the BirdDog Play and what it can do. And in order to do that, I think that I need to first show you what the possibilities are. And in order to do that, I am going to go to my computer. Oh, before I go to the computer, I need to explain to you the setup because it's crazy. All right, let's talk a little bit about, so I just to mention, so something needs to create an NDI. So for example, in my case, it can be a vMix computer. Then the BirdDog Play will pick it up and then putting it to a monitor. You might think that this is roughly what my setup is today. So I have a laptop that is what I call location vMix, which is just a plain laptop with vMix running, and it's pushing out an NDI signal. That NDI signal via Ethernet goes to a BirdDog Play. There is it decoded and then pushed via an HDMI to, in this case, a vMix computer, which you are actually watching at the moment. That is what you might be expecting. And if you think that that's the case, then it's almost right, but it's not. It's actually worse. Actually, it's really, really, really worse, because this is the setup actually. So from left to right, we have a location vMix computer that is indeed encoding a NDI signal. Then that is pushed to the BirdDog Play. So it acts as a decoder. Then I need to have something to encode it again to bring it into my vMix computer, which you are watching at the moment. So I'm actually using the BirdDog Mini that can be either an encoder or a decoder. But in this case, I am actually using it as an encoder to bring it into my TechCondo vMix computer. Now, that is really cool, right? but then you will have the signal. So you will see a signal, and this is the black signal that you see right here. So that is basically what you see. Nice, but yeah, that's it, right? And anyway, I need to change something very quickly here. Let me fix that quickly. And just select none. And I hope and then this will be fixed. So yeah, so that's what you just saw just a minute ago. Why is it not picking up? Okay, so I'll crash the system like so. Boom. All right, then at least you will see it. I'll have to restart the computer in just a bit, but that's okay. I have found a small issue with a piece of software. So this is my laptop, right? This is that BirdDog signal that you see right here. So we're going back to the top level, the BirdDog from the BirdDog Play to the BirdDog Mini to the vMix computer. That's what you see right here. That's the black box with an IP address 192.168.111. That is literally what you are seeing right here. So this is the splash screen of the BirdDog Play. It's really nice. I like the logo. It's looks very welcome and very nice. But of course, we're not interested in the BirdDog logo, even though it's a very cool logo. We actually want to see more. But in order to demo it for you, I need to also provide you insights in my laptop that I just showed you just now. And that's where the underlying system comes into play. I'm actually pushing out from the HDMI out of the laptop. I am pushing it from HDMI to SDI, fine converter, into an SDI capture card into the desktop PC that is behind me. And that is then encoding it again into NDI, and that is then coming back into the system. Now, why is it so difficult? Well, because of the white line in between. The white line in between is actually stating that I do not have a direct connection with my vMix location PC. I actually had to change it a little bit, I now see. But the vMix location PC and the BirdDog Play are both of them, in a different network than the BirdDog Mini and the Taekwondo computer. So that is basically it. So I made a mistake in my diagram, but that's okay. It's literally a different network, and that's the reason why I need to do all kinds of mumbo jumbo to get it to work. Fake, huh? Okay, let's see if there are some questions, because I can imagine that it's going to go quite. There's quite a lot of things going on. Computer Jantje is also in the house. Welcome, Computer Jantje. Long time no see. TVJ says, did you see a company came out with an NDI multiviewer? Oh, no, I didn't. Though I already have one. I already have one for a couple of years, honestly. And hello, everyone. I'm just ordering parts to build an ATEM Mini into equipment case and struggle with gas struts to hold up the lid. Ooh. Exciting stuff. That is indeed exciting stuff, and unfortunately not for today, but really interesting nevertheless to talk about that at a later stage. Scooter's here. Let me see if there's any other questions. Stuart says, oh, you're using 2 PCs. Okay, well, no, 3. Actually, 4. Okay. In all fairness, the Taekwondo PC is right there, below, right here. That is running vMix. It's running everything. Then there is a MacBook Air that is running the chat at the moment. Then here we have a computer that is basically doing a NDI pass-through. Then I have a different laptop, which is the HP Omen, Stuart, that you know. That one is actually now pushing out, doing something, which we're going to talk about at a later stage. Connie's in the house. Welcome from Aachen. I knew it makes sense to get your main stuff separate from the internet. Yep, indeed. Oh, there's a question. Hello, Petra. Sorry, it's out of today's topic. I am looking for any good instant replay devices compatible with Blackmagic workflow. That's a big one. Any suggestions to help if it's appreciated? At the moment, to be honest, I don't think that they have something out of the box with replay at the moment. You can arguably use the HyperDeck, but of course that's iffy. That's iffy at best. I would not do that. I would not say that out loud. But what I would do is that I will still use a vMix computer for replay and basically switch the show on an ATEM Mini or an ATEM, and then using, for example, if you have multiple outputs, you can also push out outputs towards a vMix computer, and that's then you use like 4 of them to make a nice vMix package of it, because you can just split that signal, and then that's fine. I definitely would not do that on the same computer or on the same ATEM. I would separate that work, to be honest, because it's way too much for one person to handle. Think that I'm back on track. All right. So again, so this is the one that you just saw. This is the BirdDog with its IP address that it got from my network. And next week you will see what network device I'm using. And this is the other screen that I'm using right there. And this is the PC that I have right here. So I do have to check this setup right there to make it work. And I actually also have another screen which I'm going to show you right now, and this is to show you how everything is connected to each other, so that you see how things go. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to show you what you can do with one BirdDog Play. Well, you can play it, but before we go into the playing part, let's check what you can do from a perspective of maintenance. And in order to do that, we need to go to a BirdDog piece of software, which is called BirdDog Central. So that is on this computer right here. And it's a bit awkward to work like this, but we'll see. BirdDog Central, there you go. And I'm going to hit yes. And this is central right there. And it takes about a few seconds so that my BirdDog devices come into play. These are not all of them. I do have more, but not more BirdDog plays. So I actually have 4 BirdDog plays, to be honest. So you will see something else in just a minute, but I have to reboot the system, unfortunately, because of that. And I now know that the one that I have in front of me is the 1775, the last one in the list. So I'm going to hit the destination right here, and I'm going to hit select, and that pops up the destination on top of it. So this is the unit that you are actually watching at the moment right there. This one right here. And I can actually now hit this icon right here to get into the BirdDog Central environment. This is the BirdDog Player. You can see that on the top left part that it's a play that you're watching, and you need to fill in a password, which is very difficult to remember. It's just printing outside what is in the green again. So BirdDog, no capitals, just all lowercase, and then you are in. So I think that I have it right here. So let's just hit OK. And this is the dashboard that in just a minute you will see the dashboard of the BirdDog Play and how everything is connected. So so it's a BirdDog converter, the Play, and you see that the CPU usage at the moment is 17%, or 14%, which is on the low end because it's only showing a yeah, it's not really showing anything at the moment. The network connectivity is only 1%, so that's really interesting to see. And you also see that I'm actually using it for the BD VideoWall Splitter 3, but we're first going to do something else before we're going to go to the video wall. The video format, as you can see, is NDI. I'm not using audio for this setup, but of course you can if you'd like. And below that you see the stream information right here. Let me show that. So the output is quite low at the moment, but that's because you're looking at the splash screen, and the frame rate is low. And here you see the name of the BirdDog, and you can of course set that BirdDog name if you'd like, and the IP address, etc. In my system or my network, the router is actually providing DHCP, though you don't have to do that. I am actually thinking to use a router so that even though it's DHCP, this particular unit will always get this IP address, but I do like the DHCP part because it simplifies a lot. Then of course you go into the network settings of this device. Let's wait for it to load. You can actually have static or DHCP. I just mentioned that I am using it for DHCP. I kept everything standard, nothing in there, but this is where you can change the BirdDog name. And as you can see, and you will see that in just a minute again, it's quite difficult to know which BirdDog is which. So maybe changing it to another name, like for example, BirdDog Low Right, for example, or BirdDog 4, as in the fourth quadrant, or something like that, or BirdDog Confidence, or that kind of stuff. I see in my eyesight some questions or so I will be coming to that later. Don't worry, I see it coming, so that's okay. And then next to that we also have the system itself, and this is where you can of course perform firmware upgrades. You can set a password, which I'm not going to do, and you can also do a system reboot and also all kinds of access management, which I'm not going to do either, keeping it as simple as possible. And the AV setup right here, that is quite interesting to see, because in the AV setup you can actually set what you want to see. So for example, I want not the video wall setup. I can actually here go in and say, no, I want to actually go into the laptop. Right there, boom. And then it will automatically, once I hit apply, it will automatically show what the laptop is showing right there. I'm not going to do that now. I'm not going to hit apply, but that's the way that you can do it. And last but not least, it's a logout. Now, that is what you can do in the system itself. So let's make sure that this is away again. Like so. And so that's the destination right here. So that's what we did. We just watched what the destination can do. And on the left hand side, you see a laptop, and it is black. Well, that's by design. So I'm going to just briefly show you what the idea is. Let's go to vMix and show you that I can also put a test screen right there. Boom. And then if I go into this software here again, then you will see that test screen right there. If I click on that, so this is the source. So the vMix is a source like I just showed you. And if I hit this one right here, it will automatically populate a program monitor. And once I hit the apply button, it will take about 10 seconds or so. But if I hit the apply button, it will then pop up there, and in roughly 10 seconds or so, it will pop up right there in the screen right there below as well. It takes a little bit, but it is definitely, it's just handshaking at the moment. Once it has the handshake, it's really fast. It doesn't have a 10-second delay or so. That's not the case. It's just very, very slow with the setup of the thing, which is a bit of a bummer, but it's really just when you start things up. Now, but that's not saying anything, but what if I just play the intro of Taekwondo? What happens then? Boom. See? So it's extremely fast. It's just like there. It's just working very well. There's no issues, no well, the delay is almost nothing, as you can see, and I actually think it's really, really cool. So again, above it's the vMix PC is actually providing the NDI signal, and below that is the BirdDog Play. Wow. So that is the way that you can provide it anything that you'd like. Now, let me see if there are some comments, because there will be most likely a lot of comments. Okay. Niels says, by the way, the remote control functionality for the Play and BirdDog refers to based on HDMI CEC. If you have a TV with that enabled, you are also able to switch the NDI program with the TV remote. That is awesome. That is really awesome. Raul says, so far the only use of the BirdDog Play is bringing signal from vMix to an ATEM. Yeah. Oh, that can be also a good use case. Yeah, absolutely good use case. MT says a nice solution and also the cheapest you can get. I agree. The again, like I said, it's really a cheap player and it actually works quite well. And Eric says less expensive than a Blackmagic Decklink. Yeah, absolutely. And the Decklink didn't fit the notebook as well. Sure. Eric says it's convenient and practical for use many types of uses. Yeah, it is definitely. It's simple and it works like a charm, which is very, very good. GoWeb is also in the house. I know that he's a BirdDog fan as well. Welcome. Namaste indeed. GoWeb says, in comparison, the BD Flex latency is more. Yeah, so this is almost non-existing. And he says, you're right. It should I should never doubt it. I see it got a very odd adapter out to SDI with one of those tiny Wi-Fi antennas connected. What are you talking about? What are we talking about? Are all BirdDog Play network names the same, but I agree with renaming the devices a better handling. I prefer a fixed even. Yeah, absolutely, I agree. Well, basically, if you put it on the table, then it will always provide the same IP address to that device. So it's basically a fixed IP address. GoWeb Technology says the backbone of NDI is a Netgear AV line switcher. How do you know that? How do you know that? You will get a nice video next week about the Netgear AV switcher. Okay, so I think that Niels says it's a great demo. Oh, thank you so much, Niels. Really appreciate that. Okay, all right. So that is the BirdDog Play. Really cool. I am going to restart the system, so I'm going to use, because I think it just crashed on me for some reason. And I can very easily just restart it. And that also gives me some time to reconnect everything. Because, of course, that BirdDog needs to be reconnected to a different screen. So I'm going to hit restart now. And now it's restarting, and I will put this one up for you, so you know that I'm working on something. And I will be pushing in not this one, but this one. Okay. If all is well, in the meantime, I have successfully switched to there it is. Was a bit too early. All right, let me put in the. Why is this not working? Current model is out of range. Let's give it some more. So I'm actually rebooting it by by removing that power a little bit. So I'm now hooking up this setup not on the switcher that you, sorry, not on the connection that you just saw. So I just removed the BirdDog Mini from the setup, and I'm now pushing it to a different monitor, a real monitor. And in the meantime, I will be accessing vMix again on my laptop. I will be showing that because why not? Let me remove this one. So starting vMix again, let's give it something to show first. I always like to use the color bars. So now I have color bars connected. I don't need the full screen. There's nothing that's not needed. And now I'm gonna open up the VideoWall software. So now I'm opening up the software, the the software of BirdDog, in order to show you something really cool. I'm looking forward to that. It's a 1.0 version, so I do think that they still have some work to make it very stable. But for now, for what it is, I think it's really good. But now you will notice that I'm pushing this one a little bit down because I want to show a little bit more about what this program is. So this is the VideoWall program. Basically, what that VideoWall program does is that it will cut down the output of a vMix signal, which is in this case the laptop blah 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 blah, which is the vMix output, which is the color bars, into four. We'll split it into four. So let's do that. So I'm gonna just select none just for the, because now it shows what it is. Boom. So now you know what you can look for. And I will now also add here the 775. I hope that works. It's working. I'll show you in just a bit. Well, look, I'll show you just a bit. You'll like it. Anyway, what I'm gonna do now is that I'm gonna push this software a little bit below the line. And in all fairness, it's a little bit stupid, but I need to do that because if I open up the menu structure, it will show my license key, which is a bit of a bummer. So I will go quickly here to make sure that it's actually not showing it. It's not showing it, so I can now go back. So below that line, all the way down below, there's a license key in clean text, and I'm not going to show that, which is something that I will definitely talk about with BirdDog. But here you go. So this is a little bit bigger, and here you can see that you can actually change the wall format from 2x2 to 3x3. So that means that you have either 4 monitors or 9 monitors to basically push out a single NDI stream, which also means that, well, a BirdDog Play is a 4K machine. So you can imagine 4K plus 4K plus 4K plus 4K. Well, that's 8K, right? So if you have 9 of them, yeah, you're pushing out a lot of pixels if you're not, well, of course, it doesn't have to be that perfect, but you can push out quite a lot of pixels. I can't in my network. I cannot do that. I think that maximum is what I feel comfortable with is 2K, but I actually can do 4K, but it's iffy. So with the new network switch, I can do that 4K part. But we'll talk about that next week. Yes, it's a Netgear M4250. Going back. So here you see the VideoWall format. You can give it a name and you can pin it to the desktop. And I do like the dark modes a little bit more. than the other one. So that's the reason why it's like there. Let's select across. I see that there's still a bit of, if you pay attention, there's still a bit of license, but not the whole thing. So I think we're still good. All right. So, are you ready to check the thing? So, as you might have guessed, I have all NDI products here. So I'm also gonna add another NDI HX camera. So this is HX, so that's compressed, and I'm gonna show you what I'm looking at the moment, because you will be. Cannot even put it on my screen. Add input, NDI, this one right here, remove the audio, all right, so first let's talk about the elephant in the room, because people are already talking about it. Yes, I'm using the Netgear 4250. There will be a new video on this one next week. So you don't have to wait that long for more information on this beauty. But this is what I'm talking about. 4 screens, all in parallel, and of course showing that screen that we just saw here, right here. So that is really, really cool that is possible. Yeah, of course, the proof is in the pudding. Can you also play video on it? Now, I don't have 4K format, so it's going to be HD. But yes, of course, I do have HD format. So let's give it another video. This one right here. And let's go back to that screen again. Like so. Oh, wrong screen. Sorry, guys. There you go. So this is the setup right here. And if I now hit cut, you will see something that you've seen before. On 4 screens, fully in sync. Of course, there's a little bit more gap than normal, but that's a limitation of my studio. 4 screens. There you go. Boom. Let's do it one more time because it's so cool. So let's go back one more time. Boom. Ain't that cool? And that is the BirdDog Play right there. That is everything that is powering up the whole product. Of course, I have 4 of them lined up behind those monitors. But this is the way that it looks. So I'm very interested. I am shocked by this. I'm not going to tell you why. Typically, a VideoWall product will set you back 3,000, 4,000 euros or dollars, without any screens, of course. But it's 4,000, right? With this setup, you can do it for less than 800. So that gives you a bit of an idea. Of course, without the monitors, because these are just 23-inch monitors. But of course, you want to have a big TV if you really want to have something really cool. I almost forgot. I did purchase all of the plates myself. So these are all in my possession. The software that you just saw, the VideoWall software, that was granted to me the license by BirdDog themselves. So thank you so much to BirdDog for that. I didn't pay for that. So that is a bit of promotion there. I totally forgot to mention at the top of the video. But this is roughly it, guys. So you're able to set up a multi-screen product. So this is 4 screens, but you can also have 9 screens, as you just saw. And I think the possibilities are endless. What do you think? Leandro says a very affordable solution. I think so indeed. The Cabo Studio says for the AV world, the you can buy. Yes. I think that what you mean is that that the Netgear product that we just started that we have there is indeed a entry-level AV switcher. Of course, you have way more expensive switchers, but for the size of this particular studio, but I think that most of us have the same thing, is that you don't need the bigger cojones. You can actually have this one right here. So yeah, it is. So also the network switch is quite affordable. The Cabo Studio says that the profiles are really good. We use it for NDI, Dante, Intercom, and Internet. And there's also Waves. There's also Sonos, NDI 4, NDI 5, all kinds of sound profiles. It's extremely versatile, and they're still adding new profiles. DJ Ware says it's very cool. Raul says the same thing, very cool. Eric seems to like it. That's also cool. GoWeb says, do you have the new BirdDog Wi-Fi NDI camera? No, I do not have that. Which is really cool. That's the X120. Basically, it's the same camera as I have. I have the P120, with the difference is that my camera is indeed wired and shows full NDI, where the X120 only allows for HX3 NDI, which is a compressed version. And my camera also supports dual stream, so I can push out full NDI, but I can also push out SRT at exactly the same time, or full NDI and RTSP at the same time, or anything 2 times, which is really cool. But I have to admit, I do like the setup of that X120, but yeah, I already invested in the P120s, and where I go, I think that I will have issues with the Wi-Fi, because if you have a big event where a lot of people are actually pushing on Wi-Fi via their phone, then there's a lot of congestion in that space. I want to prevent that from happening. No, it's not bad. It works. Yeah, it works. It does come with some flaws, to be honest, at the moment. But a quick reboot will help it at the moment. But of course, I will definitely have to tell them. But what I see, I'm really stoked by it. I think it's great, and it's just a software problem. It's definitely not the BirdDogs. So I'm really happy with that. The Cabo Studio says you can have a $600 version with 1 BG uplink PoE plus. Yes, correct. I think, wow, that's huge. Is that my screen? Yeah, that's my screen. Is quite huge. Yeah, my dad was also like, oh, by the way, I almost forgot. It's not only that BirdDog provided me the video, but my dad also provided me 2 screens today for demo purposes. So 2 of those screens will have to go back to his house this evening because he wants to play with his music creation business as well. Gareth says, does BirdDog Play work with the iPhone NDI app? I don't know. Well, I can try it out, because I do have it, but I think it's only PTZ control, so I doubt that it's connected. It's also PTZ control, as you can see. Oh, it does see something, but it only sees the vMix outputs. So no, it will not see the BirdDog Play, because it's not. Yeah, it makes sense. It doesn't output anything, right? It only ingests data. But I can use this setup right here to show my different setup right there. So I can actually use that BirdDog PTZ control app. By the way, it also works with non-BirdDog. So for example, my PTZ optics camera that I have not switched on today, but that I have on top of looking down on the desk. That one is also controllable with the BirdDog PTZ control app, though it's limited to the motorized function. So left, right, top, down, and zoom and focus, but not color control, for example. Oh, MT says, what I meant was that with the play names, every play unit has a separate name number to identify. Yes, it does. It does. MT says, right, I know that the Netgear AV are especially designed for the high data rates of those applications. Yes, they are. Phil says, VideoWall software price is about 500 USD, quite pricey, but still affordable way to do VideoWall with 4 BirdDog Play devices. Yes, so it is definitely not. It's still money, right? It's still something that you need to invest. Which is can be quite pricey, though if you compare it to a other VideoWall product, then you're not even talking half. It's 1/3 or something, right? The whole shebang. So the price of the software plus 4 times the play, it's not even. It's maybe not even 1/3. It's maybe 1/4. So I imagine that it's quite a serious lot of money, but yeah. But again, the VideoWall software I think is really good. It's a version 1.0, but it's really, really good from that perspective already. Also, the customer service is 24/7. We have one broken and also was replaced next day with UPS. That's cool. You can even have nine units indeed. It makes sense to buy the software with the play devices in a bundle. The software is much cheaper. Yes, correct. That is correct. That is correct. A Teltec BirdDog VideoWall kit for 9 times play in sale for 1,700 euros. There you go. That's not expensive. That's not expensive. Of course, you have to factor in also the screens, and I presume that you're not going to use 23-inch screens for that. I think that you're going like I do at the moment, but more like 55 or even better, bigger screens. But yeah, it's definitely a great price. Pete, one of the backbones of the stream. Yes, he is. He definitely is. Yes. Without him, well, he's now also taking care of the kids. Empty says, at work, we have installed 4 65-inch monitors as a video last week. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. I love it. Floor to ceiling, I can imagine. Not quite. Yeah, but it's good. It's getting to a good place, right? So yeah, so that is the BirdDog Play. It's a decoder. You can play NDI signals. You can play NDI signals as a confidence monitor. You can play NDI signals as a teleprompter. You can play NDI signals as somebody who is remote and you want to bring into the set, for example. But you can also make your set really shine with a big screen like I have right there that you just saw. You can play videos, you can play graphics if you like, and I'm actually considering to create special graphics that will allow me to kit it like so. So I need to maybe make some adjustments to the After Effects setup. but it would be good to have like a four screens horizontal. That is not supported, huh? So that's something that I want to do myself. So that I need to build some software to push it like there. But we'll figure that out. But that's something that I'm gonna do. Anyway, so BirdDog Play, very versatile, really interesting. I love it in the sense that I finally have a way to bring in NDI signals in a very easy way. I love the idea of Raoul to use it as a NDI to HDMI converter for the ATEM switcher, which I think is great use case as well. So yeah, very versatile. And yeah, this brings me to the end of this show. This show it will also be will be one of the last of well for the coming weeks, because I have to travel for work to the US, first in San Diego, next and later to New York and upper state New York, in that area at least. So I will be gone for about 3 weeks. Which is a bummer, because that means that I cannot go live for 3 weeks. That's the reason why I actually have already pre-created 2 shows that are both like in the area of 15 minutes. One of them is indeed about that Netgear, the Netgear switcher that I have, which I really love, especially with the BirdDog system. It makes a lot of sense to have this system. And next to that, there's a second video, and that's roughly about transporting all the gear and how I thought to do it, but eventually I decided not to do it. But it's still really interesting for some of you, so I highly would recommend to watch it. Then there's 1/3 weekend left, which I don't have any content for at the moment. Maybe I will be going live from the States. If not, then that means that we'll have to skip 1 week. But I will be back in the last Saturday of the month, which means that I will be back on May 27th with the next live show. Again, next week and the week after, there will be a show, but it's going to be pre-recorded. I hope that I see you then. Even though I might be not there at that particular moment, I will check your comments. I will be reacting to your comments if you have any questions. So please go ahead and do that. That would be great. I know, 3 weeks. Yep, I know. All right. But again, there will be content in those 3 weeks. Don't worry about it. It's just 1 week that I don't have content. Veal says, thanks Petra and the community. You have a lot of knowledge and learning just hanging out around with you. Well, I'm also learning from you guys. So like I said, it's a community. You give, but I give, and we make it. We bring everybody to the next level, which is great. DJ where I really liked it. It was great. Thank you so much. And thanks Petra, a great show as well. Really appreciate that, guys. See you next week, pre-recorded. But after that, of course, I will be back in 3 weeks from now with a new live show. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic May, and I'll see you in just a couple of weeks. Bye-bye.